Hi, my name is Sharice, and this is Spirit Soul Sense, information for your soul. And it's also a place for healing, positivity, and fun. So I wanted to talk about Masego because I had a friend who introduced me to his music, and I have just been binge listening to everything he's created, watching every music video he has. I'm very specific about the artists that I spend a lot of time listening to because I think what you listen to and what you expose yourself to, what you let into your being is very important and influential on the kind of person that you are day to day. So Masego's music has extremely good energy. When listening to him sing, when watching him create, it's like he's so in the zone, and it's really like a pure example of being present, being in the moment, being in the zone. And so, I would imagine that creating music for him is like praise and worship, and just something that is so intrinsic to him as a human being. So he's like a really good example of what it looks like when you're being present. And I really appreciate the way he is in the media right now. He's not like super famous, but he's famous enough that he would be considered a celebrity. And so the way I consume celebrity news, gossip is a lot different than a couple of years ago. I used to really be very interested in gossip, and not even just celebrity gossip, just all the gossip. I wanted all the gossip in my family. I wanted all the gossip at work. I wanted all the gossip at, government. We call it politics, but a lot of it is like gossip. And I also wanted all the celebrity gossip. And so, I had specific celebrities that I cared more about. But, I followed a couple of the blogs on Instagram that talk about people's private lives. And then I just reached a point. I think it happened first in my personal life where I just wasn't interested in other people's informations anymore. It didn't make me feel good. I kind of felt like I was intruding, and I just wanted to stop. But I had created friendships that were based a lot in gossip, so it just created a real period of growth for me where I had to change the way I was relating to other people's information, and I had to change the way I also related to other people. Like, what do we have in common besides knowing information about this one person we have in common, our mutual friend? So that was like a learning period for me. And then it translated to celebrities. So I remember back when Kanye West, was on TMZ and did the whole slavery bit. And I had a lot to say about that. I really used to look at celebrities as case studies. Not so much more now. They kind of still are case studies to me, as in the sense that I know that there's something to learn from every person, right? Every person I meet, every person I encounter, and the people I expose myself to, celebrities, they also have information that I can learn. However, I don't think it's helpful to get information from them to learn about myself at their like sort of detriment. So there's certain things that happen in celebrity culture and news that I choose not to engage in. So like I prefer to make this video based on someone like Masego, who is fairly positive, has beautiful music that feels uplifting, especially to me as a Black woman, versus talking about Chris Brown, who I used to really enjoy. There's a lot of videos about Chris Brown right now, and I get it. A lot of what is happening makes sense. If I really did a video on Chris Brown, it would be more about the themes, and I wouldn't talk much about Chris Brown. I feel like, for me, he's in the same category as R. Kelly. And for some artists, it's very important to me to significantly distance their art from their work. And for other artists, they're the same to me. And so for someone like Chris Brown and R. Kelly, I feel like they have made their music based off of abuse. And I don't see how I can just listen to the music and be okay. and enjoy it. So I stopped listening to Chris Brown a long time ago. And I'm not sure I was ever a fan of R. Kelly. That's not my generation. I'm a millennial. And so, like, I know I Believe I Can Fly. Like, I sang that at graduation, my 6th grade graduation. But, like, I wasn't really, like, paying attention to R. Kelly after that. Besides, I don't know, Happy People. Stuff that he released as singles. I just wasn't that interested in him. I remember hearing about, you know, the Aaliyah and the rape and the untried, and I thought this is really weird. But I didn't watch the sex tape. Like I didn't need all of that in order to distance myself from him. It's like, this is weird. Like, I would prefer someone who is more positive than negative. Like, I'm not really interested in all of the controversy. Hence why this video is more so about artists who are similar in style to Masego, and speak a lot about positivity and more healthy relationships. Which reminds me of Beyonce. I love Beyonce. I have a whole other video on her most recent film. But even the way I used to listen to Beyonce, and, you know, there's some celebrities who, you know, I just feel more protective of in terms of how the media portrays them, like Beyonce and Rihanna. If Rihanna wants to be photographed by the paparazzi, then she will. And if she doesn't, then she won't. Like, she won't even expose herself to those areas that they are. And so when they intrude on her personal space, it's just, I mean, it's really telling. So I see celebrities more as regular people now than I did like 2 years ago. It's really important for me to more so speak on the art that they make. If they are doing something in their personal lives that's really problematic, then I can't. You know, some things are so significant that it really impacts my ability to even listen to the things that they're doing. But otherwise, I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm sure Masego is flourishing in his life, and if he's not, whatever hiccups and challenges he has, that's his business, unless he wants to share it. So, like, when artists do interviews about things that they're going through, or share, you know, certain information in these different segments that they end up being on, I think that's like okay information to go and run with. And I can say, oh, this helps me understand him better as an artist, as a person. But at the end of the day, I don't know any of these celebrities. I don't know Masego, and it's like perfectly okay, the limited amount of information that we have. What artists are doing is providing us art. I never want to be famous, like, for the specific reason that people no longer see you as a regular person. They interact with you as if they know you based on some of the things that they've seen. And I just, oh man, that's just not the world I live in. I'm an introvert, and I just, like, I don't think I could handle like a bunch of fans. I just would disengage. I don't think I would engage enough with fans to really become famous. But anyway, look at I'm gonna link. You don't have to. You don't have to look. You don't have to do anything. If you would like to, you can click on the link in my description box. You may have already seen the video of Masego and FKJ making their Tadao video, and it's so beautiful. It almost looks like it's choreographed, but they were just improvising and having fun. And I think that is like a good example of what it's like being present, because all they were thinking about was what they were doing in that moment. And a lot of times we do things in the moment and we don't even know, like, we're creating a miracle, you know? So there's times in my life where I have totally been in the moment, and, you know, time flew and I created this work of art. I mean, I really do art, but I created something so beautiful that I was so impressed with myself. And, you know, really had time to reflect and think about how can I practice this more on a day-to-day basis. It's definitely not easy for me, because I'm always stuck in my head thinking about something. But I love the reminder in Masego's music. And I mean, his style is so unique and it's so beautiful, and listening to it just makes me feel something, make me feel so good and so positive. So I strongly encourage, anyone who, likes good music to listen to some of his tracks. And his newest album was released 2018, Lady. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful, and you can really feel, like you can imagine that. I think God is behind all of the works that we create. I think it's the God moving through us. Even like my desire to do this YouTube channel, I felt really compelled. I'm not like I said, I don't want to be famous, but I really feel like this calling to share a lot of the information that I have, because I know I have a specific point of view, and there's something in me that's just really pushing for all of this to come out. So click the link, look at some of the things that he's done. Think about how whatever you're doing in your life, you can apply being present to that, so that the end result, it looks like that. It's just as beautiful. Maybe you don't know how to play any instruments. I used to know how to play the clarinet. I don't play any instruments now. But I know what it's like being present, and I know the difference it can make in my life. I'm also going to put a link to Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, because that book changed my life, really. Years ago, I started reading that, and, just the idea of, not having to think all the thoughts. Knowing that now makes such a difference in my life, because it really helps me to calm down. So thank you for watching, and I hope you click the link and, bless your life with some positive, beautiful, beautiful music. Bye.